Rebecca. So this is another week in my life vlog. As you just saw, I did go for a bit of a walk earlier today. I went to like the historical area of my town and another park on my way home. It is very nice to be out and about. It was quite cloudy this morning, but thankfully it did clear up today. And I think today is Saturday, the nice hot day for this week, as I believe the rest of the week supposed to be like in the upper 70s. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'll get up to this week. High likely it's gonna be a lot of footage of me at home. So yeah. Reading wise, I did start Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I'm about 112 pages and I'm on part 2. And this is about this girl who, in part 1, she's recounting her time in this boarding school, and where she and her peers learned that they were created to be donors, organ donors, and they're not expected to live long. Yeah. The story's not linear so far. She's jumping back and forth between more I guess present day and her recounting what happens, and even when she's recounting she's kind of jumping go over. So yeah, so far I think the book's fine. I don't know, I'm not really invested in it, but I don't think it's a bad book, but yeah, I just don't have strong things for it. But yeah, let's see what this week will bring. Hopefully not another flat tire. And it's the next day. I did have some errands I had to run this morning, but I was able to go for a little bit of a walk in a park that was nearby. And I've shown you this park a handful of times, but I just like going there when I'm in that area, so yeah. And I have done more reading of Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I still think it's a fine book, it's not blowing me away, it's fine. Right now we're in the part where Kathy, Ruth, and Tommy have left Hillshan, which is the boarding school they were at, and they're now in these cottages, which I'm not entirely sure why they're there. I'm not entirely sure how this whole clone thing works, or I mean, I see there's a quote earlier that's referring to how they are different from other people. I guess they're clones, but I just don't really understand what the point of them being clones are, to the plot of the story. So yeah, I am in the writing, but I don't know, my thoughts with this isn't entirely clear, as you can tell. A lot is going on, but none of it's really making sense to me. I don't understand the point really of the novel yet. But I am liking it. I think it's interesting, some commentary on people being afraid because they're different. And not really knowing where they came from is also quite interesting. So yeah. And tomorrow I have some more errands to run, and I might be able to go for a bit of a walk. And on the way home I stopped by Burlington and I got this I don't remember this shirt thing, which is it's sweater material, but it has sleeves that are a bit on a shorter side. I really like the color and the fit on me, so yeah, I bought it.
it's been a few days since I've updated this vlog. I've decided to make this vlog into like a couple weeks in my life, as I just didn't feel like the footage was good, and this week was really interesting, even though I did go on some beautiful walks, but I felt like it was kind of getting a bit repetitive, so yeah, that, and I realized the week I was planning to post this vlog is also the week I need to post my August wrap up, so I just didn't really want to be a bit behind on like vlogs, and I just wanted to keep it more recent, I guess. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a couple weeks of my life, but there will be more book discussions in here. But yeah, I did go on a nice walk a few days ago, which was very beautiful. I like when like there's a lot of clouds in like an area where there's a body of water. I for some reason just find that very beautiful. Like there's a charm, I guess, to it. I don't know. I do like it when it's sunny, but something about cloudy days is just so beautiful to me. So yeah. And reading wise, I did finish Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. It's a 3-star read. Like it's fine, but there's a lot of talk about them being clones of real people, how they were designed as to be like to donate their organs to others. Like I know, like we don't get much information about it, as the main character doesn't know anything about it, but I don't know. I kind of do wish we got more information about how the whole process worked, because it just felt like it was just like this character telling her story, like in normal characters, normal person's story, and it wasn't anything special. I don't know, but yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, it was fine. I will try out another book by Kazuo Ishiguro, as I didn't hate the writing. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, it's not a book for me. I do plan to keep it. And I have since started, and I did take off the dust jacket so I can show you that. But I have started the World Remake by Jemisin, which is the sequel to The City We Became. And that's completely duology, so I'm tackling this series, so that's good for me. But yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what the World Remake is about, as it is a sequel and a concluding novel in a duology. So, spoilers. Plus, I'm only like 90 pages in, so I don't really have many like thoughts on it so far, or opinions. So far, I'm liking it. I do like N.K. Jemisin's writing, and I do like the stuff she's tackling in this book particularly. But The City We Became is about like these avatars, like when a city has enough people and it has enough life to it, it becomes alive, like, and the avatars are people living in the city who represent the city and its values and its way of life, and this person kind of becomes the city while it's alive, and if a city dies, the person, I guess, dies with it. And this follows New York. New York has like this main avatar that represents the entire city, but it also has, I think, 5 other avatars that each represent a different bureau of the city and what each bureau represents. So yeah, and New York is trying to fight this monster that's like Lovecraftian, and trying to deal with that, and yeah, it was a really interesting read. I read it about 3 years ago when it initially came out, so I don't remember much from it. I do remember like bits and pieces, but not the entire thing. I probably should have like read the book or read a summary of it online, but I just didn't want to. So yeah. Today I do have to get my tires changed. With my flat tire in my last video, I was able to use my spare, but I still need to change my front 2 tires, and the auto shop I'm going to only had an appointment for this Saturday, so yeah, I'm gonna deal with that. I'm not sure what my plans will be. And yeah. And I forgot to mention, I did go shopping yesterday, and I went to Barnes and Nobles, and I did buy one book. I bought Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I did enjoy One for My Enemy, and I did enjoy the first book in this Atlas 6 series. The Atlas Paradox was fine, but I still liked it. But yeah, I'm intrigued about this book, and I have been since I first heard about it last year. So yeah.
So it's been a few days since I vlogged. Yesterday I did have to go out of town to run some errands. I was able to go for a bit of a walk, but I wasn't really in the mood to film anything yesterday. I don't know, I've just been feeling really tired recently, like no matter the amount of sleep I get, and I've been getting like pretty decent sleep. I just feel a bit tired, I don't know. Maybe turning 24 has actually made me a 90-year-old, who knows? But yeah, I just feel like an old lady. It is what it is. I have more energy today, thankfully. And I will be trying to film for the next few days. I think today and tomorrow I will be staying at home to do some work. But yeah. And today nothing really interesting happened. I just did some laundry, did some cleaning and whatnot. Really mundane tasks that I just don't think are really interesting to film personally, but yeah. And I have done more reading. I'm now on page 262 of The World We Make by Jemisin. And this is again a sequel to The City We Became by her. And I don't want to spoil like The City We Became, and I feel like saying anything about this book will be a spoiler, because it does pick up like a few months after the events of The City We Became, and yeah, just continues on from that. But so far I'm really liking it, and yeah, that's all. I'm not sure how this will wrap up, but I'm intrigued to see. And so I think my final thoughts on it will be in my August wrap up, so we'll see. But yeah. And it's the next day. I've done some work, I've also done some more laundry, and I've also done some reading, and I'm now on page 312 of The World We Make. I'm probably gonna finish this today or tomorrow, so my final thoughts will be in my August wrap up. But I am excited to see how this book ends. We've just hit the climax and everything's wrapping up, and I haven't read like the final battle, but I imagine that's gonna be happening when I pick up this book, because I don't know what to say, because this, I fear I don't want to spoil anything, but the other avatars of New York, they're confronting the enemy, the woman in white. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. But yep, today's another dreary, gloomy, rainy day, which is lovely. I think tomorrow will be a bit nicer, so I will be able to go on a walk. I don't want to leave my house when it's horrible weather, but I have to. Next week will be nice and hot. I think they promise like a few days in the 90s, which I just think is a bit funny, because for most of summer where I live, it's not been the nicest weather. We've had a lot of rainy days and a lot of days where it's just not been really hot. And now that school's back in session, essentially, Mother Nature's like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a few very hot days, like at the very end of summer when no one is really able to enjoy it. Like, I don't know, I just think it's a bit funny. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what else I'll be getting up to today, but if anything interesting happens, I'll let you know. I'll show you probably.
walk in a park nearby. And I have also finished the world remake by Jemisin. I like the ending. I like the fact there wasn't a huge like fight scene between the avatars of New York and the enemy's masters. Like they just one of the avatars just talked to them through her and made them see the error of the race, made them see that their beliefs, like there was some error in them, and yeah, so that was satisfying. There's something that happened in like the last chapter that I thought was an interesting change, but I can't really say what it is. I don't know, I feel like saying anything about the very end of this book is spoilers, and anything about the very end of any book is a spoiler. So yeah, I gave it 4 stars, and I have also just filmed my August wrap up. It's the last day of the month, so I'm just glad I was able to finish this book today. So yeah, and I think either later today or high likely tomorrow I will start my next read, which is Weyward by Emilia Hart. I believe this is about these 3 women who are all from like very different time periods, who are all wanting to this cottage somewhere in England, and they're all connected due to familial matters, and I believe they're witches. I don't know, it just sounds interesting. The US cover is beautiful. So yeah, I'm intrigued, and yeah. And it's the next day. I don't have much to update you on, except that I started a new book. I started Weyward by Emilia Hart, and I'm only about 50 pages in, so I don't really have any thoughts on it so far. My only thought is, I'm not really in the story, I feel like I understand what is going on, I can see what's going on, but for some reason this morning when I was reading, I just didn't feel like I was in the story, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I don't know if it's the writing or the fact I wasn't feeling well this morning. Even though I did get a lot of sleep, like I got about 7 hours, I still was quite tired this morning, so I'm not sure if that also affected my reading experience so far, but yeah, we'll see when I read more of this book. But so far I like this writing, and I like the fact we're kind of switching between the different narrators, like with each chapter, like so yeah. And yeah, there's not much to really update you today. Like I don't have a lot of plans. I have some work I do need to do, and tomorrow, however, my mother and I are going to another tag sale, and I do need to do some grocery shopping, so that will be fun. And yeah, next week I think will be more interesting as they do promise like some days will be hot, so my mother and I will try to go to the beach. Who no promises on that, and I do know. I'm not gonna say what my plans are, as I do fear I will jinx them if I say it out loud. So yeah, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Also the end of this vlog. So I did go to that tag sale this morning, as you saw. Nothing really interesting was there. It's at Exos last month when I bought that lamp, and it just seems like they're kind of recycling food old stuff, trying to get rid of it, get rid of as much of it as possible, which does make sense. So yeah, nothing really interesting for either me or my mother. And we did go for a bit of a walk in a couple parks. The first one just wasn't that interesting, and the second one we stumbled upon on our way home. So yeah, and I did do some errands, went to the grocery store and all that. Nothing really interesting, as my life isn't the most interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I've done more reading of Weyward by Emilia Hart. Something, I'm liking it. However, something about the writing style, I think, I just don't feel like I'm in the story. Like, I know what's happening and I understand what's happening, but I just feel quite distant from the story. So, yeah, it's not bad. I'm liking it so far, and yeah, and have I told you what it's about? I don't think so, but it follows these 3 women from very different time periods who all have a connection to this cottage. They're connected in a sense. They're also connected in a sense, familial matters. Like, yeah, and they all have their issues, their problems, and they all seem to have some sort of magic, and a connection to nature, like a very strong connection, and something happens in their lives that negatively affects that connection. And yeah, so far, even though I am having a bit of problem like getting into the story, I am still intrigued. So yeah, yeah, that's really all for this video. Sorry that these last couple of weeks haven't been the most interesting, but my life's not the most interesting. Like, I live in the suburbs, I don't really live in the city, and yeah, it is what it is. I think next week might be more interesting. Who knows? But yeah, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below, tell me what you've been up to recently. If you want to, please subscribe to this channel, and if you want to follow me on any social media, then all those links are in the down bar below. I'll see you guys next time I post a video.